Alright, y'all. So, I plan to go back to the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum this Sunday. And so I want y'all to stay tuned. And I will be taking videos and all. So, stay tuned. Alright, what's up, y'all? So, I'm at the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum, waiting for 6:30 or some other diesel to come in. So we're just gonna wait and see. It's just gonna wait. Come on!
Who makes its way into the depot. Also, we ask if you have small children, please take them by the hand for their safety. We ask everyone to stand well behind all lines as the engine makes its way into the depot. Once again, we'd like to welcome everyone this morning. If you have not yet picked up your tickets on will call, you will need to pick those tickets up inside Grand Junction at the ticket office. Also, if you would like to purchase tickets for this ride, you may do so at the ticket office. And once again, we'd like to thank you for visiting and riding the Tennessee Valley Railroad.
No, what there she is. There she is.
Anywhere you'd like to sit. Whoa, boy! Watch yourself. I didn't. access several of those examples, but really and truly, this feature was developed for the steam locomotive. So as diesel locomotives are being phased in, eventually you start to see fewer and fewer turntables. This turntable was used by the Central Georgia originally down in Macon with their roundhouse. And when a larger table was installed, this one was moved to Cedartown, Georgia. Now, as impossible as it sounds, watch for the very far end to drop down. As impossible as it sounds to be able to turn an engine and that amount of weight around by hand, you can do it. I didn't say it was easy, but you can do it as long as you get the weight of that locomotive balanced on the table. Now that doesn't always mean true center. In other words, I said this was 80 feet long, so if I step off 40 feet and turn a second, this is half of the 80 feet. This is true center. This must be the balance point. That's not always going to be true. In fact, most of the time it's not balance point. It's not distributing that way equally. This because it's half in the true center of the length of the table. Ladies and gentlemen, our steam locomotive today was built in 1904 by the American Locomotive Company at its Christic Works. This class of locomotive, very common by the railroads, used by the railroads, is a 280. This locomotive is a consolidation. It's a 280 KS1 consolidated class. The locomotive, a mouthful, but let's focus on those numbers, 2, 8, and 0. Now, there's different numbers you always see when you're reading about or reviewing a steam locomotive. But all of those numbers have one thing in common. That is, you're looking at the wheel arrangement on a locomotive, and you're counting that arrangement by wheel set. Now, you know that a set is 2 or more things that look alike. So if you start the front of a locomotive and start working your way back counting, a set of 2, smaller pilot or lead wheels there. Behind that, counting backward, is 4 large driving wheels on both sides. So, 2, 8, and guess how many wheels contains the cab? Donut, 0. The same thing holds true for any wheel arrangement. 440, 282, which is the wheel arrangement of our 4501. 210, 2. Those are referring to wheels. Now we're going to line the turntable up with track 2, allowing us to pull the engine off onto track 2, pass right by the coaches on track 1. That way the crew can get this engine to the other end of the yard. Once they do so, the crew will switch stop, switch back to track 1, back up, recouple. By the time it's all said and done, they'll be able to head back to the crew in the opposite end of the train. It's going to pull off the table. Ladies and gentlemen, to follow me over for a back shot. As soon as he clears the crossing, we'll go over inside the shop and I'll talk to you there. I'm just waiting.
Her 6:30 is veiling this. Alright, so that was my round of Tennessee. I'm using 6:30.